How's everyone doing today? My name is James, and I'm going to be doing something a little different. I've dabbled with this stuff in the past, so if you're an old fan, then you probably have an idea of what this is going to be. But if you're new, welcome. We are going to be taking a look at Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I apologize for whoever I just offended with my pronunciation of it. I tried my best. So, in this new series that I'm going to be doing, First Strike, the idea is you play a game for a little bit, get your first opinion, and then we'll just sit down and we'll just talk about it. It's not supposed to be a Let's Play. This is not supposed to be a serious review. This is more, like I said, first impressions. So we're just going to take a look around, see what options we have, how the game performs, is it a decent PC port, all that fun stuff. And we're going to just go from there and see how this series develops over time. So first things first, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is a new game from Software released in 2019. It's basically Japanese medieval feudal combat in the Dark Souls engine, but they've done a lot of meta changes to the game, which we'll talk about once we actually get into the game. It's really interesting. It is brutally hard, though. Even if you have a lot of experience with Dark Souls, a lot of talented Dark Souls players are having trouble, at least initially, adapting to the changes. I know I had a real problem in the beginning of the game trying to rewire my brain to work with this game. But again, we'll talk about gameplay later. First, I want to talk about the PC port. So the PC port is actually fairly well done, given From Software's history as a company doing PC ports. Everybody remembers the disaster that was Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. 30 FPS capped at 1024 by 720 resolution. It was just bad. But this game, they've made some strides. They're really trying to improve their PC code base, and it's showing. It's still a fairly bare bones port. There is a forced 60 FPS cap. There is a mod that removes it. I haven't tried it personally. I also don't think it's fair to talk about external modifications to the game when trying to talk about the game in the first impression sense. Maybe if I did a review on this game, we'll go more into depth. But as it is right now, we're just going to approach the game stock. Speaking of weird arbitrary limits, there is no ultra-wide support in the game. You can mod it into the game, and it'll work. Moves everything appropriately, or renders everything appropriately, FOV is appropriate. But natively, there is no ultra-wide support, which kind of sucks. As far as options go, if you've played a Dark Souls game, you'll get an idea for what you got here. You've got auto lock on, your camera controls, camera speed. You can only control an overall camera sensitivity number. There's no individual X and Y axis camera control sensitivity adjustments. There's no option for things like there's no option for things like acceleration, any of that. So you just kind of got what you got. For controllers, I find that camera speed 5 is a very good like default number. It just kind of works. I don't have to mess with it. On mouse, it doesn't work. It's a little too unsensitive. And it's playable, but you have to kind of play with it. I had to bump the DPI up on my mouse a little bit to get it kind of where I wanted it to. Because from what I'm able to tell, the mouse camera speed, like, there's an option for mouse sensitivity and also camera speed, and I can't quite figure out the relation between the two. So I just ended up using my mouse control panel to adjust my DPI manually that way and left the game option at default. That seemed to give me the best control. But I want it to be very clear. I do not recommend you playing this game with mouse and keyboard. I highly recommend you playing with the controller. That is how the game is designed to be played. It is surprisingly playable. I would say it's more playable on mouse and keyboard than any other From Software game. They've done a really good job. However, controller is still the go-to. Should be the default for this game. But we'll talk about controls once we actually get into the game. You can do some rebinding, which is really cool. Obviously, you can't rebind move because that's stuck on the stick, but like you can change B and A and which button is crouch and some of the stuff. It's actually really cool. Not very often that we get to see controller rebinds, and I hope that this is also present in the console versions of the game. As I'm playing on PC, I don't know if it's rebindable on console, but more games need to adapt features like this. This is a huge win for people. This should be standard. No, really, what should be standard is how Steam gives you the option to just rebind any button to anything you want, period. From like a input level, so like before the game even sees it, so the game might think that you're actually pressing A and it will jump, but you're actually pressing like left stick, you know. I think that should be how the consoles do it moving forward, but since that's not how things work, having options like this is definitely appreciated and definitely a good way forward. You also do have fully rebindable keyboard and mouse controls, as you would expect. The only thing that doesn't seem to be able to be rebound is camera controls. You can actually bind different keys for different options, like, you know, lock on target. You can change, you can make it so that way, like if you wanted to press T and it will always target the target to the right of where you're looking. You know, you can do that. You still have the default mouse controls where it's like flicking the analog stick in that direction will target that person. But you can also bind specific keys to that. They do a really good job of breaking out. There's not like one button that just kind of does everything. They do a really good job of breaking everything out and letting you customize exactly how you want, which is really nice. The only issue I have with the default controls is the prosthetic tool being control is a little weird, you know, especially if you're used to first-person shooters. But otherwise, like all these controls make sense. F is grapple, space is jump, you know, everything just kind of works out. There is no on-the-fly button prompt remapping. Unfortunately, you have to pick an option in the menu. Not end of the world, but would be nice if that was there. And then you've got inversion controls if you want it for mouse, and then your mouse sensitivity. Then we get on to graphics options. There's actually quite a lot here. Screen resolution, obviously. Game supports 4K natively. Automatic rendering adjustment. Set whether rendering is simplified when performance drops. I'm assuming this is some kind of resolution scale, or it's just some kind of dynamic quality dropping setting, which is... We need to see more of these in PC games. I love the idea of that being an option, especially on consoles, and not a lot of games bring that to PC. So it's good seeing something like that happen. So we're gonna go to advanced. I have everything on high just because the game runs out of lock 60 and whatever. It's locked rock solid here. I don't want to mess with it too much. I will put my textures on max though. I will do that. So you have an option to toggle anti-aliasing. If Digital Foundry's video is to be believed, there is temporal anti-aliasing as well as FXAA. There's no individual toggle for that as far as I can tell, unless the FXAA is like under effects quality or something dumb. But, you know, otherwise it's just a simple on-off toggle. We could use a little more detail there. You've got screen space ambient occlusion, depth of field, motion blur. This game actually uses a really nice motion-based per object motion blur. So whenever you are attacking, you'll notice that when the camera shifts, then everything will kind of blur, but your character doesn't. It's not like PS2 blur. It's actually really nice. And then you've got standard stuff like shadow quality, lighting quality, blah, blah, blah. The water in this game is actually really nice. Unfortunately, some of these more esoteric options only have low and high, but that's okay. Okay, and then for some reason the reflections has max. But then we go to shader and it only goes to high, and there's a medium option, but this one is low, high, max. Like, I wish the naming was a little bit more cut and dry, but not a deal breaker. Game runs beautifully. Like I said, I haven't had a single section where it drops frames. I might have a stutter here or there, like especially on the first load of the game, and it's trying to stream in a whole bunch of stuff at once. I might get a stutter here or there, but once I die and come back at a bonfire, it's usually fine. So, with all that said, let's dive into the game, and let's see if it actually lives up to the Dark Souls franchise, or if it's something closer to Bloodborne, or is it kind of its own thing entirely in terms of legacy and fan awareness and all that fun shit. My recorder kind of broke there for a second. I wanted to show off load times, but load times are a little bit of a problem, especially on first load. Once you're in the game, it's usually fine. I've never run into any problems, but that initial load can sometimes take a while. Alright, so this is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. If you can't immediately tell the influence from Dark Souls, then you probably should just go play Dark Souls first and get used to it. There are some gameplay changes, like for example, we can jump. You can jump and then you can kick people while you're jumping, and that actually is a defensive move that you can use to knock people off their guard. You can hang on walls, you can climb around. Do all kinds of fun stuff. Now, this game is a stealth game. You're supposed to be sneaky, you're supposed to be quiet while doing it. Oh, I fucked around way too much, and now that guy moved way too forward. So it plays very, very, very similarly to Dark Souls on like a overarching macro level, but on the micro level, like how the blade combat works and the timings for things like dodges and stuff, that all has been changed and is now radically different. So you cannot go into this game thinking that you're playing Dark Souls, because you'll try to roll out of the way and you'll get fucking creamed. Do I have time for this? Yeah. So, let me stealth assassination. Okay, that dude saw me. That dude definitely saw me. Well, now everybody saw me, so much for stealth. You good? So the yellow triangles means that they've spotted something. They know that something is there. If it's a red triangle, then that means the enemy has definitely seen you, and they know where you are, and they are coming after you. Now, see, that guy, they gave up. Big guy still knows I'm there, though. So maybe I should do this. Work my angles, get an advantage. Something you have to be very careful of in these style of walls is that enemies can actually see you and attack you through these holes in the wall. I did not believe it the first time I saw it happen, but then I went back and watched the clip, and yeah, he definitely just stuck his sword through and poked me through one of these holes. So you want to look out for that. Okay, so now he's kind of retreating. He's still very suspicious because he's like, I know I saw something, but everybody else kind of gave up. Alright. Maybe right about now we should be giving up? Or are you just going to stay aggroed this whole time now? I have a feeling they're just going to stay aggroed. Oh, look at that. Gave up. Okay. So different enemies obviously have different traits as far as their attack style. Some will give up far easier than others, which makes the whole stealth aspect a little bit more fun, in my opinion. That was not what I wanted to do. And then, of course, he spotted me immediately. I am a retard. Okay. Yoink. This game's really satisfying when you play it correctly. Whoa. That was dumb, James. Alright, you know what? We've messed up this whole section, so... just like Dark Souls, you have bonfires, except this time they're Buddha statues. Whenever you rest at a Buddha statue, it resets all of the enemies in the area. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll just start this section over again and see if I can actually show you how to stealth correctly. So now if I'm quick, what I typically do is this. Okay, I wasn't quite quick enough because that dude saw something that time. That's okay. Enemies will drop coins when you kill them and you just... Oh, damn it! God, I'm so bad at this game. I guess I should probably have started this first impressions by saying I am awful at Dark Souls games. Screw you. And this is no exception. Can you just grab onto the ledge? That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Third time's the charm. That's one reason why I put off doing this video for so long, because I was like, I really want to make a video about Sekiro, but I'm awful at Dark Souls games. And, well, it's showing. Kill you. GTFO. There, see? Now his thing went away, and now he didn't see anything. Now I can do this. Boom. Now if I was quick, I could have jumped up on the ledge and then pulled him down here, killed him that way, but now he's going to see me if I jump up there. It's just out of height of a single... Oh, no, it's not. Now I can do this. Just get a little closer, buddy. Just a little closer. No, you're going to go the other way? Okay, that's fine. Actually, this is perfect because this means we can just wait for the ogre here to walk by. And then I can jump up and stealth attack him and not have to fight. Because you don't want to fight those in a one-to-one fight. You totally can. Just, no. So because the stealth system is a strong focal point, you have the concept of assassinations, as you've seen me do a few times. Whenever you see the red dot appear over their head, that means that the enemy has dropped their guard and you can get in an easy attack. This can happen from breaking their pros, or whatever this game's version of it is. Basically, you break through their guard by timing attacks well, by parrying attacks, by doing any number of things. Can I get you now? Yes, I can. Alright, so now that should give me... Let me just do this. Cool. Yeah, the guy almost definitely spotted me. But we got away, so it's all good. Oh. Was it not him? Who was it that saw me? I guess it was him, but then he just immediately gave up. That guy's dedicated to his job. Alright, so let's jump up here. If I don't suck. The other real problem I saw is that you saw how my targeting just broke right there for no reason. That's my other real frustration with this game. Okay, well, he actually saw me, so... Is this guy retarded? I think he might be. Alright, so now I get to show you how combat system works. So you can hold your button and you guard. You see this bar that popped up at the bottom of the screen? That's my pros. And if I keep guarding, it keeps going up. And if it goes all the way full, my guard will break and the enemy will get a free hit on me. And that works in reverse as well. So this guy I actually need to kind of like parry him. Ow, I missed. Because I suck. But you can see his pros meters. Wow, I'm awful. Trying to talk about mechanics and get timings down is really complicated. So I broke his pros. That opened him up immediately to an attack, and I was able to finish him off. Fairly straightforward. That's going to be the main strategy for how like boss fights work, how most combat works. And there's other moments like this where we can listen and eavesdrop. Oh, he's crying about his horse. Poor guy. Of the little animation of... like, just the attention to detail. And then we're just gonna assassinate that guy. Sorry about your horse, my dude. Okay, so I got enough experience where I leveled up. We can show that off. 2. Wait. Boom. So that's the general basics of how the stealth in this game works. It's It's not something like the original Thief games where combat is useless and you just need to sneak everywhere or else you'll die immediately. You're a fucking death machine, but the game is way easier if you actually stealth around and do things the way the game intends you to. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, if you approach this like you're playing Dark Souls, some things will stand out to you. Like dodging is now basically useless. If there are iframes, they are very, very, very few, and a lot of attacks are more sweeping. So even if you do dodge out of the way, they'll still hit you a lot of the time. You have to master that parry, which the window for parrying is much wider in this game than it is in something like Dark Souls 2 or Bloodborne or something. So it's a lot easier to pull that off. And the guard system, if you don't get the parry perfect, you just guard the hit. So it's very forgiving in that front. It just takes some time to get used to all the timings and the individual meta of the combat. But once you get the flow of it, it's actually really fun, and it can be really elegant. Watching like a sword duel and like the clashing, and it kind of turns into a rhythm, and it's very hypnotic. Now, you don't have levels in this game. You also don't have builds. That's actually important to point out as well. You play as one dude who has one sword, who is here to do a mission. You get a few power upgrades. I haven't gotten one yet. I'm still fairly early in the game. And with every mini boss or boss you beat, you get prayer beads. You can enhance physical attributes, so you get more health, more stamina, all that kind of stuff with the prayer beads. And there's also a skill tree that you get with killing people. There's two major perk trees, I guess is the way to look at them. So there is the kind of combat tree, and then there is the kind of stealth tree. So down here is more passive abilities. This will be where you learn more stealth abilities. Like, for example, suppress presence will reduce an enemy's ability to perceive those who are in stealth. So if I'm pressed up against a wall, or if I'm crouched in some bushes somewhere, it drastically reduces their ability to see me. Then the next tier upgrade with 3 level ups is suppress sound, so that makes it a lot harder for people to hear me, and so on and so forth. And then the combat tree has things like whirlwind slash, mid-air deflection, which I'm actually going to grab because that sounds really useful. Mid-air deflection gives you the ability to block while you're jumping, something that's it's very handy. Then you get some more useless upgrades, like the maximum number of spirit emblems that can be held. Spirit emblems are basically your ammo for your secondary weapons. I have shurikens as mine right now, so every spirit emblem is a shuriken. You only carry 15 at a time, as you can see right here, 15 out of 15. And then I have 181 in reserve, so I really don't use the shurikens that much. They seem kind of useless. So I'm sure as I get more abilities, it will come more into play. And then I guess the only thing I haven't really talked about is the grapple system. So the grappling is actually a really fun way to move around. It's really fast, and it's really quiet. That's the important part. It lets you get... Fuck. I didn't lock on. Thanks, game. Oh, it lagged there for a second. That was weird. Okay, well, so much for that. Let's go back to the bonfire and rest again, because I suck. It's a really quiet way to maneuver, to position yourself. It's really fast to move around. You can chain them mid-air, so you can just kind of keep jumping around without having to land. So you can move a lot of vertical ground really quick, and it lets you position yourself very advantageously, very quick. So you just like that 5 seconds that I'm already, in a position of power over this guy. Oh, fuck off. Thank you, game. I do have some problems where sometimes the red dot just like doesn't appear, like you saw there, how it just didn't appear, but I still did the assassination anyway. And then I have problems with lock on. Those are really the only two like mechanical issues I have with the game, where sometimes it just flat out doesn't work. But outside of that, the game is very like mechanically well polished. It's very well put together. It's very intentional with its design. So now that I felt like this section shows really well how the game can work on like a meta level with the various trash enemies. It showed the big ogres. It showed the guys with the guns. It showed the guys with the spears. So like you kind of get like a taste of everything. You can eavesdrop. So this is a very good vertical slice of gameplay. It kind of just shows you a little bit of everything, which is one reason why I wanted to do the video here, because you can just see how everything is done in just one area and not really have to worry about it. And another thing about this area, it's pretty fucking big. Draw distances are crazy at times. Like, you can see details like that wooden structure off in the distance. You can see like individual leaves in the trees off in the distance. Not only can you see the macro detail, like you can see the fires and like this battlefield and everything, but then you can pull in. See if I can get it to do it. I'm gonna have to find a different angle. But you can pull in real close to your character's face. There we go. And you can see like individual beard hairs and mustache hairs, as well as like the scars on his face and everything. Like, it's the attention to detail in this game is just lovely. It's a very well done game. The only complaint I have is that it looks a little soft. That's probably just due to the TAA combined with the FXAA. It kind of makes the hair look more aliased. But besides that, like, it makes the rest of the environment look flawless. Like, there's not a jaggy to be seen anywhere. It's great. So, with all that said, how about we experience boss fight? Okay. Okay, so this boss, obviously he's a horseback polearm wielder. I'm gonna parry. I totally fucked up my timing there. I haven't played this boss fight today, so I probably should have done a few practice rounds before recording. But that's okay. So the idea is you parry once, parry twice, you'll get an opening. Oh, my target broke. Okay. Alright. So some bosses will have events where you can kind of grapple to them. I fucked up. I tried to dodge when I shouldn't have. Parry that. Drink. Showing the boss that disrespect, boy. Whoa. Okay, so whenever you see those red symbols, those are unguardable attacks. That's a sign that you need to GTFO. Oh, that was my fault. I attacked. I should have parried. Okay. Okay. Oh, I should have kept attacking. I stunned him. Whoa. So let's do that. Okay. The idea is you just kind of chip away at their health. And if you can do pros damage, that's the way to go. Because if you do pros damage, it'll knock off the entire bar. Oh, that's my fault. Almost got him. He's so close. There it is. Okay, so that took off an entire bar of his health. And now he only has one of the red dots over his health bar. Oh, he hit me before I could do my grapple. So here comes the gimmick. Sekiro, shadows die twice. That means that you can resurrect. There is a downside to resurrecting, which we can go over later. Because I'm trying not to die. Okay. Ah. So every NPC you run into can get this thing called root rot or dry rot or something. Some dragon rot, some disease. I don't really care. Because all the NPCs I've met are kind of bad. Okay, there we go. That was good. Oh, fuck. I have no more healing. I have pellets. Yeah! Ah, I totally parried that. Fuck off. Trying to commentate while you're trying to focus on that is difficult. Good lord. Okay. So whenever you die, you lose half your gold. You lose some of your experience points. It's not half, but it's I'm not quite sure what the loss rate for XP is, but it's there. These are flashbacks. I'm trying not to ruin the story for people, so I'm not going to look at that. But yeah, so every time you do a resurrect, you inflict the world a little bit more with fuck, what is it? What is it called? Dragon rot? I'm pretty sure it's dragon rot. I don't know. There's an item somewhere that I can see it. Where is it? Rot essence. Yeah, it's there's a rot that goes around, and every time you resurrect, there's a chance that the rot will spread to more people. So as you can see here, I have rot essence for sculptor, for timid maid, and for fine sun. So that means that those three NPCs have the rot. Apparently there's a way to cure the rot. I haven't quite got to that point yet. Rot is important because you see this unseen aid thing down here, 12%. That is a chance. It starts off at 30%. And then that means there's a 1 in 3 chance that every time you die, Buddha will grant you unseen aid, which means you don't actually lose anything when you die. So that's a nice mechanic, and it rewards you for doing better and not trying to just cheese the resurrection system. Unfortunately, I don't really see a downside besides just kind of feeling bad for making more people around me sick. I don't know if that's going to come back and bite me in the later game. It probably will. But, you know, I'm just going to keep abusing it because unseen aid, like if I'm going to die, 20 times fighting a boss, getting unseen aid once or twice wouldn't really help me because at that point I'll be broke anyway. So that's my 2 thoughts on that mechanic. But let's try the boss fight again. Switch back over to my healing gourd. Alright, now that I'm a little bit more prepared, I'm a little less rusty. So whenever that arrow is gray like it is, it means that you're out of range or you don't have a line of sight for your grapple to work. Oh, I totally did not time on that one, like at all. Whoop. So I think what I need to do there is I need to jump and then grapple to dodge the attack. Ah. There we go. Get that stun in. Okay. It's a little rough first encounter, but I should have jumped. Okay, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Oh, I missed it. Parrying does the most pros damage, as you can see. Blocking will do a little bit, but not a whole lot. I took that hit like a fucking champ. Do the assassination. Boom. What? Fuck. He's drifting on his horse. Sir, that is illegal. Ow. Shouldn't have attacked there. That was pure luck that I didn't get fucked right there. So typically, you'll only want to, when you parry them and stagger them like that, you'll only want to do like 1 or 2 hits. Like, you do not want to just wail on them. And me just doing 1 hit there was a little too much. No! Okay. The fuck is your horse jumping for, sir? Calm down. Oh, fuck. I hit the attack button at the wrong time. Okay, let's get some hits in. I'm actually doing not that bad. Let's try a pellet. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, I deserve that one. Wait for him to run over me. And then let's resurrect. Okay. Oh my god, did I do it? Ah, I did it! Oh, I have to do the finisher dead blow? Oh. Oh! Okay. Oh. Okay. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe lingering in the mind of the wolf. Commune with the sculptor's idol and confront memories of battle to permanently increase attack power. Gyobu. Okay, so now I can do a memory, and then I can get an increased attack power thing. Okay, that's cool. Mechanical barrel that can be given to the sculptor to enable prosthetic tool upgrades. Appears to be made to fit perfectly inside the wrist of the shinobi prosthetic. Huh. Okay. So yeah, I guess I could show that since I got it. All right, there we go. I beat him. That felt pretty good. Now, unfortunately, this boss fight was actually fairly easy. His timings was a lot wider. I think that was only like my 6th or 7th attempt on him. So let me talk to this idol real quick. So, enhance attack power, confront memory to. I bet you I have to fight him again, and then then I can get my attack power to upgrade. What we're gonna do is we're gonna travel back to the dilapidated temple. So it's just like Dark Souls 2 where you can just kind of warp wherever you want. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I guess I forgot to mention why I have the grapple. I have the grapple because my arm got cut off, and then the sculptor made a prosthetic, and that's actually the grapple hook, and then that's also where my shurikens come from. Can I walk out here? Okay. See, they actually come out of my arm, which is kind of weird, but I dig it. All right, let's see what this upgrade is. Yes, I have acquired something interesting. Fit into the arm for you. Various purifying agents to further horn that thing of yours. Purifying agents are materials that can be used together with the angel. Things like, or with the barrel, with the angel. Wow, I'm losing my mind. Okay, so basically I can now do guns? Is that, oh, okay, there's this whole tree for upgrading the prosthetic tool. Okay. Okay. This is actually kind of cool. Yeah, I'm digging this. Of course, I don't have enough coins. I can go grab some coins real quick if I wanted to, but I really don't. And that's the only shuriken. That's the only tool I have. She's praying. Sculptor has been coughing blood. Appears to be tainted. Okay. There suffers from dragon rot. There we go. Okay. Do I have a gourd seed? Yeah, I was about to say. So I can now go find people who are infected and just have them cough on me and then bring her the blood and then she'll come up with the cure, is what I'm guessing. Whatever. Let me... I'm really curious what this enhanced attack power thing is. So let's do that, and then I think I'll end the video on this. Once led a group of infamous bandits, was defeated by a Shin who was so captivated by show of strength that he took him in as an Ashina warrior. Okay. Attack power has been enhanced. Oh, that's it? Oh, I was thinking I had to fight him again, like a ghost thing. But no, that's all I had to do is just reflect on it, and now my attack is better. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. That was a little disappointing. But yeah, this is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's a pretty good game, but it has all the same caveats as Dark Souls, where if you don't like Dark Souls level design, you don't like Dark Souls combat, you either may click with this game right away, or it may just frustrate you to no end. It took me, like I said, a very long time to get used to this game, and its weird combat systems. What is this way? That's a sealed from the other side. Oh, are you telling me that... Okay, so you have to press up against certain walls to unlock them? That's cool. That's a great mechanic. Yep, this is definitely Dark Souls level design. Well, with that said, I will see everybody around. Links for this game, if you are interested for it, will be in the description below. And leave me a comment telling me what your opinions on this game are. With all that said, I am James, and I will see you next time.